Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the SHM Podcast presented by Hockey Trend. A very special guest today. She's from McKinney, Texas. Started her hockey journey with the Dallas Stars Elite program before spending a year up in Philadelphia with the Junior Flyers, and just wrapped up her freshman year at the University of Vermont with the Catamounts. Please welcome Kaylee Lewis.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Kaylee, getting right into things here. Growing up in Texas, what initially sparked your interest in hockey, and was there a specific moment or influence that kind of got you into the sport?
Yeah, so I'm originally from California. My dad played hockey, so I was kind of born at the rink. Begged my mom to play hockey for the first 5 years of my life, and then my dad found out I wanted to play, and he was like, "Let's put her in some skates." So it's been smooth sail since then.
Now, just talk about it's kind of different for everyone, but did you grow up always playing with girls, or were you with the boys at all for a little bit?
Yeah, so I actually played boys majority. I transitioned over to girls hockey when I was 13, right when like checking started. So I moved over. I still played boys from like here and there, like high school hockey, but it was mostly girls from then.
At what point did you kind of realize that, hey, hockey's something I can do as like a future thing?
Yeah, I think that realization started when I was 14. That was when a lot of the girls were like committing, and that kind of opened the whole college aspect for me. And that was like super cool that you could do that. All my friends were committing at the time, so I was like, I definitely want to do that. So yeah, it was around 14 where I was like, I think I want to play in college.
Now, can you tell us about your time with the Dallas Stars Elite program and how that kind of helped shape your career to where it is today?
Yeah, I mean, my coach, Mike Selican, I mean, he really shaped me into the player I am today, taught me everything I really know. I still have connections with him. Still ask him questions from time to time. He's a great guy. Um, but yeah, playing with the Dallas Stars Elite, I mean, he held me to a different standard. He held me so high, he put the bar so high for me, and I really like greatly appreciate that and everything he's done for me. I had a coach, John Staples. I had him for 2 years, I think, and he really helped my mental side of the game too. I mean, those two people really helped me in Dallas Stars Elite, and I will forever be grateful.
Now, before you got to Vermont, you spent a year with the Philadelphia Junior Flyers. Obviously, from going from Texas to Philadelphia is a big change. So, kind of talk about adapting at the start when you first got to Philadelphia and what that was like.
Yeah, I mean, Philadelphia was a great year. Moving was obviously tough at times, but I thought it really like prepared me for college. Getting away from home for 1 year was really nice. It was a whole different dynamic up there. The team was a lot different than what it was in Dallas. The way they practiced was completely different. We played different teams. The weather was different. I mean, everything was just so different. But at the same time, it was awesome that it was so different. I just got a fresh of new air.
Now, playing for Philadelphia, how did the competition level kind of differ from what you've experienced in Texas, if there was any difference?
I think I think the teams that we played, we were a little bit more consistent playing girls. Every weekend we were playing a girls team. Where in Dallas we were playing boys a lot, and then like 2 out of the 4 weekends we were up playing girls. But being able to play girls more consistently was way nicer than playing boys and girls because playing boys as on a girls team is way different than playing on a boys team. So being able to just constantly play against girls, and the teams that we played were always pretty good. And the players I got to play with too were a lot different than the ones in Dallas, and we had some really good players on that Philadelphia team that I played on.
Now we'll get into Vermont here. Kind of take us through what the commitment process was for you and what made you choose University of Vermont.
Yeah, I mean, my process was definitely a crazy story. Me and Alex, my coach, love to joke about it. Um, I was right when the rule changed. So I was able to talk to schools in eighth grade, ninth grade, and then 10th grade, it was complete like blackout, like could not talk to anybody. And then June 15th comes around and my phone is blowing up from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So it was it was a crazy day on June 15th. But I mean, yeah, it really took my time during that process. And I just kept talking to Alex and I started really falling in love with everything he had to say. But the one thing I will say is that when I was getting down to the schools, like my top three, top five, I asked to talk to a player on the team, and I talked to one of the girls, Christina Shanahan, and I just fell in love with everything she had to say. It was the first time somebody like actually thought like me, and what she had to say about Vermont was just like amazing, is everything I wanted, everything I dreamed of. And after that phone call, I had the biggest smile on my face, and I turned to my mom and I go, I know where I'm going.
Now take us through the first time getting to Gutterson Fieldhouse. Obviously, you probably saw pictures and videos and everything, but just taking that in for the first time because it is breathtaking in a rink like that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to take my official visit because of COVID. So I flew in one summer for a camp and flying into Burlington was just so real. My jaw was on the floor the whole time flying in. Stepping onto campus was so amazing, but stepping into that rink, I think my heart like dropped. My eyes were just like in love with the rink. It's so much better in person. Um, Seeing it felt surreal, and now playing a few games, you can like just see where the people sit, and it's just you just replay memories all the time. It's just amazing playing at that rink.
Now, the one thing you guys always do, and I got to experience this actually a couple years ago, is pack the gut.
Yes.
I think you guys set a record this year because it was set a couple years ago and I was there, but I think it was beaten this year. Just talk about the atmosphere that night when you guys get to play a game and there's over like 2,600 people in that arena.
Yeah, I mean, wow. That was, I mean, you could see my face. I mean, it's the best feeling in the world. I mean, especially for a girl. Like you don't get that everywhere. Not a lot of teams get to experience that. To be able to step on the ice and have that many supporters is just amazing. It was the best game I've ever played. The fans were just amazing and it was just electric. It felt like a an NHL game and I was the one playing and it was like a dream come true.
Now, in the little bit of research I did here, 2,705 fans, and you scored the first goal of the game. So take us
Yes.
through that and how electric Gutterson got after that first goal went in.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I played this goal in my head all the time. It was just an amazing feeling. Rosie Rocher like had the puck drop past it to me, and I took a few sh steps in and shot it from the tops of the circles, went high blocker against BC, and you just hear the crowd just go crazy and like everything was 10 times louder. The celebration just felt so much more sweet. And I mean, everybody was on their feet. Everybody was so excited. It was just amazing time to be alive.
Absolutely. Now we'll backtrack a little bit. Take us through your first college game. Who was it against, and what were the nerves like heading into that one?
Ooh, my first collegiate game was against Clarkson, the Golden Knights. My hands were shaking the whole time. I definitely looked like a freshman on the ice for the first period and a half. Um, I mean, they are just an incredibly fast team, and it my time with the puck was chopped in half. So maybe a second you usually get with it, it was like point 0.3, point 0.5 seconds. Um, it was so crazy to try to get up to speed. I mean, that game was definitely an eye opener to college hockey. It was a good game, but my stats did not look good. My stats did not look good.
Now, obviously, it's a little bit of a transition from 19U to college, and it took you 4 or 5 games to get your first goal against Merrimack. But take us through that goal and kind of what was going through your head when it went in the net.
Yeah, so that one's another goal that I like to watch from time to time. I was definitely frustrated that game, actually. I was so mad I haven't put a puck in the back of the net yet. Um, but I think it was Rosie who tried passing it to Beecher, but it went through Beecher's stick and landed right on my stick, like perfectly. And I just flicked it. Like I didn't even like really shoot. I just like tried to chip it right at the net and it went right over her glove, right into the net. And the video, you just see me just start jumping up in the air, crazy with my hands up, and everybody around me were all jumping in a little circle, and it was so funny and it was so cute. And Rosie actually got her first goal too. So we were kind of like twins on that day. So that was really sweet.
Now, looking at the stat line, that was the day after you got your first assist, and then you picked up another assist in the next game, started a little point streak. How cool was that for you to kind of know, okay, like I can collect points here in this league now?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely relieving because I mean, Philadelphia had 92 points, so I do like to put my name up on the scoreboard. But it was definitely relieving to get points to be like, okay, the bus is now starting to go. I knew once I got my first goal, it was gonna be I could take a breath and be like, okay, I can do this. But once that first goal comes, you just know that you can do it.
Now, jumping ahead a little bit to January, you had a game against Providence where you actually had 2 goals. Kind of take us through that and how
Okay, here we go.
I think we're good now. So jumping ahead a little bit, game against Providence in January, 2 goal game. Kind of take us through that and how cool it was, not just a pot one, but pot a second one later on too.
Yeah, I mean, that game was great. I mean, I was at the gut, so amazing as always. Um, Chipped one in. I think there were two power play goals. So that was nice. I think I was just fresh right on to that power play. So it was really nice to get some goals for that power play. Felt like I did my job, screened the goalie. Yeah, it was really nice getting two goals and not just like one. I mean, always blessed to get a goal, but two was nice. Was really hungry for a third one, but it just didn't happen that game. But soon I'll get a hat trick.
Yeah, so second period power play goal, and then a power play goal at 1850 of the third period to put you guys up 3-2. Obviously, the energy was probably high in the gut there. Unfortunately, it looks like Providence kind of came back in the last minute there and then ended up winning pretty early in overtime. So a devastating loss, but I mean, obviously Providence and there's other teams in that division that are huge rivals for you guys. So games like that must be pretty cool to experience now playing against a team that has so much history against your school.
Yeah, I mean, like every game in Hockey East is always a battle. I mean, there's really not a day off where you think that you're gonna win that game. It's kind of a coin toss, always. So that's like one thing I love about Hockey East is that it's always very competitive. Yeah, that game was a tough loss. It was like they had like 1 minute left and they tied the game. It's kind of a tough one to take in, but that's all right.
Now, I always try and ask this with people I have on. What are your top three favorite rinks that you got to play in this year?
I always have to say Northeastern. That one's a sweet one. BC was super cool too. Um, who else? And I also liked sloughs. I liked the not like just the all the brown, all the like wood was really nice and the lighting was sick.
Now, obviously, you're kind of at the top of the division geographically. So take us through some of the road trips you guys went on this year and what was kind of the longest one and kind of most painful one, I guess.
I think the most painful one is Maine. I think that one's 8 hours or six or something. It's kind of a hefty one. Um, it's it's not too bad, but it can when you're buddied up with somebody. I'm always buddied up with my roommate. We always kind of like give each other the look like, can you get away from me? But love her to death, but we definitely act like siblings from time to time. But the best ones are always when me and her are making a scene at the front of the bus if that's we're arguing or we're laughing hysterically. There's really no in between. We act like we've known each other for our whole lives, but it's only been 1 year.
Now, obviously every team's different, but I feel like a lot of teams do like rookie karaoke. Does that happen? And did you guys do that this year?
Yeah, we definitely did. We had a lot of rookies. We had 8 rookies, so it was kind of a long concert. Um, we had some new staff, so we definitely made them have a rookie season too. So it was a fulfilled bus ride, that ride.
Who is the best and worst singer?
My roommate, she is amazing at singing, actually. She is naturally talented, and I think I would have to say me. I'm terrible at singing, so the roommate duo.
Now, who's most likely on the Catamounts to forget something on a road trip?
So I have forgotten my pants at a rink and somebody had to grab them for me. So I don't want to say me, but then I might have to give it to myself so I don't at anybody else.
Okay, how do you forget your pant, like your gear at a ring? Like,
I don't even know how it happened because like the pants are like so big, you would think you would see them, but apparently they were like hanging up and they were just like right there and I would just like carried my bag out. But
they're green though. Like, how do you miss those?
I literally have no clue how you missed the pants. Like it's like the worst thing to forget too, because it's like they're huge. Like they're not like an elbow pad or a glove. Like they're pants. Like come on. Like really?
That kind of leads me into the next question. Obviously, um, every rookie's kind of different, but like I'm assuming you all pack your bags and stuff. Like, kind of take us through what it's like when you get to a rink for a road trip and getting on the bus and how that kind of goes.
Yeah, so we get there. I think usually we have like a morning practice and then we pack our bags immediately right after. So our equipment manager takes them. Um, we pack all of our toiletries, get our skates sharpened if we need it, all that, and then we kind of go on with our day, and then obviously like pack your travel bag, and then you head to the bus. The equipment manager, he's amazing. He does everything for us, really. So we won't really see our bag until we leave from the trip. So that's super nice. I know a lot of people have to carry their bags all the time, so I'm really blessed that I don't. But yeah, he like unpacks puts our name tags on, puts everything very presentable, and then we just really have to worry about playing our game and that's it.
And not forgetting your pants after the
and
game.
not forgetting the pants. That's a big one.
This is a PSA to your equipment guy next year. You have to check Kaylee's bag every single game after a game to make sure the pants are in the bag.
Yeah. Yeah. I just need to text be like, Kaylee, you actually have to triple check your bag.
Every senior next year is gonna be so on you after they see this, be like, okay, we're not like forgetting anything here. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I got fined, so I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson quick.
Now take us back again to stepping on the ice at the gut for the very first time, and how crazy was that to you that, hey, I'm playing college hockey now?
Like my first game or first practice or
Whatever came first.
first time. Okay. First time was this summer and I don't think I like took my eyes off the arena. Like I just kept staring around and looking at everything, trying to take it in. And I did that probably the whole week at that camp. I like took so many pictures. And then coming back and playing like the practice for the first time, I was like, wow, so this is actually mine. Like at first it was I wasn't committed. I was committed, but I wasn't like signed. I wasn't like coming in as a freshman. I was just touring my school. And then as a freshman being like, wow, this is actually real. Like I don't get to watch it anymore. I actually get to play it. So that was so amazing.
Now, every school's kind of different in terms of this, but a lot of schools have like giveaway days and like different theme nights. And I know Vermont does quite a bit throughout the year. So, what were some of your favorite theme nights that you guys had this year?
I think 802 was the awesomest night. It was so sick. The jerseys were amazing. I like called my dad and was like, "You have to bid on my jersey. I want this jersey so bad." But jersey, so that was super nice. We also did a cancer night, or maybe it was breast cancer. I can't remember, but we had purple jerseys and those were sick too. And I think next year is military. So I'm super excited for that one. But yeah, I love the theme nights. The theme nights are get the fans going.
Absolutely. Now, this one might be a hard question, but Dallas Stars green or Vermont green?
Oh, I wow, you're really putting me on the spot here. I don't I don't know I don't think I can choose. I don't think I'm allowed to.
It's hard, and I know it's also difficult because they're kind of two different shades of green, but
Yeah.
they're both spectacular colors nonetheless. I mean, the Vermont jerseys are unbelievable. Like it's crazy to see. I saw the 802 jerseys this year and too, and those were like unreal. It's like the budget these schools have to be able to pull off things like that is like insane. Like so many schools wear different jerseys throughout the year. Like how many different sets of jerseys did you girls wear this year?
We had four this year, but I think we might have three special occasions next year, but don't quote me on that. But that's what I've heard.
Now, if that is true, like how crazy is that to you that you're gonna come in one day and wear the green jersey and the next day you could be wearing something completely different? Like how wild is that to you?
It's it's so wild, but it's so cool too to be able to like put on another sick jersey for the night. Because then you get like different photos and those are like super sick. Um, but it's like refreshing. It's like so nice to be like, wow, this is a different color. This looks cool. And then you go back to your normal ones, you're like, oh my gosh, I love my normal one. It's just like it's like clothes. Like it's like you get something new and you're just like, oh my God, yay.
Now, obviously, it was your first year, but walking into that dressing room, if you haven't experienced anything like that with like Dallas or Philadelphia, how crazy was it to know, hey, I have a locker and a stall and everything that like my gear stays in all the time, basically. Like, how cool is it to have a facility like that at your disposal, kind of whenever you want?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was blessed and grew up having a locker room for majority of my time. But having a collegiate locker room is so much different than a regular locker room. I mean, it's customized everything. Like you walk into our locker room, you got a customized floor mat, you have customized lockers, you have a whiteboard that's also a projector, you have like lights that dim and like different kind of lights that dim. So it's like walking in on game day, you have like the spotlight on the jerseys, and it's just like so cool to walk in. It's awesome to be the first one in the locker room, and you just kind of like, wow, it's so beautiful.
And I could be wrong on this, but they just like redid it recently too, didn't they? Like, well, I
Yeah.
think right before you got there probably, but like,
Mhm.
how cool is it to know like you were one of the first people to step foot in like the new additions? Like, obviously the locker room had been there before, but like they put so much into it. Like, how cool was that knowing, hey, I'm in my first year and I'm part of this?
Yeah, I mean, it's truly a blessing to be able to be a freshman and have all these things already there. And be the second person to use that locker room. I mean, it truly was a blessing. It's just absolutely beautiful. We have a beautiful lounge. We have so many things that now seems like an everyday normal thing, but for most people, it's not even existent. So it's super nice. It's super awesome.
Now, I know one of the things in there is like a list of like former players and all that. How cool is it to go in every day and kind of look at that list and see who was there before you and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, a ton of those girls I look up to. I mean, they were the players I was watching when I was committed and was like, I want to be like you, I want to be like you, and I want to be like you. So being able to see those players' names and show the path that they made at Vermont, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, truly inspirational and just you just want to live up to to what they did too.
Now, kind of take us through what your summer looks like, kind of where you skate and if you skate with any like big name players or anything like that.
Yeah, so I work out at the rink I grew up at, Dallas Stars Elite in Irving, Texas. I work out with all D1 men's hockey player, an AHL player, and Hannah Bilka. So that's a big one. Um, so I lift with them 5 times a week. So that's super awesome. Love being around those people. I mean, they bring me to a higher standard. And then I do a lot of lessons. I do about 5-ish. That kind of like fluctuates. It can be like 3 to like 7, really. So like 5 a week goalie lessons. And then on top of that, I do uh two like 18U camps a week and then a lesson from time to time. But yeah, love skating, love being at the on the ice and at the rink, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously skating with Hannah Bilka goes fourth overall on the PWHL draft this year. How crazy was that to you, knowing her for last couple of years and knowing how good she was to see how high she went this year?
Yeah, I mean, it was super awesome, super exciting. She's a great person. I mean, she deserves it more than anybody. She's so awesome to be around and lift and work out with. But yeah, I'm super excited for her. She's back in Boston, and I can't wait to see what she does.
Now, obviously, speaking on PWHL Boston makes it all the way to finals, obviously first year in the league. How cool is it as a female athlete to know that, hey, when I'm done playing, that could be a possibility to play in a professional league?
Yeah, I mean, it's super awesome to see that this is all happening, especially right as I'm starting my college career. So hopefully by the time I get out, it's 10 times bigger. But yeah, you got two Vermonters on that team, Teresa and Amanda. So that's also super awesome to see that you got some Catamounts on the Boston team. So yeah, I'm super, super happy for them. Wish they won it, but that's all right.
Yeah, as you mentioned, there are two former Catamounts on the team. Did you guys get a chance to get out to any games this year? And if so, how cool was it to see former Catamounts at that professional level?
I never was able to watch in person, but I watched their games online. It's just awesome. I mean, it seems like a higher level than college, which is awesome to see. Because it used to be just collegiate was the highest level, but now it seems like it's a bigger step to go to the P-Dub, which is awesome. Um, Watching them skate was so cool. I felt like a little girl again, looking up to the same people I looked up to. So it's super sick to see that this is a possibility.
Now, I don't know if this has happened, but have you had any like little girls or like fans come up to you for like autographs at any point this season? Like, if so, how crazy was that for you?
Yeah, I have had a few. I mean, it just makes my heart melt. I mean, it's so awesome to inspire the next generation and be the person that I once looked up to. I mean, when they ask for autographs, I am like shocked. I'm like, me? Like, you want me? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a person that they look up to. I'm an inspiration. And it's truly a blessing. And I'm really honored for all these little girls that look up to me.
Now, before we wrap up here, I know there was a really good senior class this year. Just touch on that and kind of what they taught you as a freshman in your first year.
Yeah, I mean, they were so awesome. They were great. I mean, every time you got on the ice, it was a battle against them. I mean, they just know the game so well and they just know the small little details that I still have to learn. And watching them skate and understand the game is so crazy. Um, it's just something I want to be as a sophomore. Like, I want their intelligence as quickly as possible because they were just so smart and calm on the ice at all times. I mean, they taught me a lot and it's very non-tangible things. And to be able to see like Natalie Melenkova just move around people effortlessly, like you just like watch her videos over and over and over again. It's like, okay, how would she do that move? How would she get her feet going that fast? And you like see watch her from a distance and she just does everything for hockey and it's really awesome to see. And like I definitely try to live like a few of those girls. Like everything I do is for hockey and I can see it paying off and they're great people to be around and good luck to them next year to our transfers, but it was really awesome to play with them for 1 year.
Yeah, Malinkova is one that I actually want to bring up. Obviously played Olympic Games at one point for Czechia, played like World Championships and other stuff for her country. How cool was it like meeting her for the first time and being like, oh my gosh, like this is a superstar in like her home country probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's super awesome to, especially to have all these Europeans on the team. I mean, somebody like Nat, I mean, she's a different breed. I mean, you look at her and you're just like, holy, holy hockey god. And it's crazy to believe that she is like the person in Czech. So it's super cool to know her and have her on my side and have some good conversations with her. Love seeing her at breakfast with the girls. I mean, she's just a funny person to be around too. She's just awesome.
I remember listening to Spitting Chicklets and when like Czechia won like World Championships this year, Pasternak was saying like he couldn't go anywhere in like Czechia without like people hounding him, I'm pretty sure. So like I'm pretty sure it's probably the same for Nat at certain points, like after like if they win, like I think they won bronze a couple years ago in like one of the tournaments. Like I think they were probably like superstars in the country for like the next month after that. Like it's wild, but um also touching on that before, obviously like the U18s and World Championships, USA is pretty successful over the last couple of years. How cool is it to see those programs have the success they have?
Yeah, I mean, it's super awesome. I mean, anything with our country representing is super awesome to see them be successful. The 18s, super proud of them. Congrats. I know they worked extremely hard for that. So it's just really awesome to see when USA gets the gold. So let's keep it rolling with the gold.
Another thing here, I know it's probably not as big as like the U18 Worlds for women's and World Championship, but like how big is World Juniors in the States every year? Because up in Canada here, it's almost like a holiday basically. Like Boxing Day in Canada for World Juniors is like insane.
Yeah, I mean, like Texas is, I mean, for like hockey, it's like not that big, but when the Stars were like up, like everybody was a hockey fan. Everybody was. But football's coming around, so that's like the national holiday is the Sundays for football. I mean, always watching Sunday football.
Yeah, I guess in Texas, football would be the bigger thing than like
Yeah. Yeah.
there's so many like big schools in Texas for football. There's like Texans, Cowboys, obviously. Like it's just like it's a football state for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, like every time I'm like, "Oh, I play hockey." They're like, "Oh, cool." And then somebody's like, I play football. They're like, let's go. And I'm like, okay, okay. That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough bounce. But Kaylee, thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it, and best of luck in your sophomore year at UVM next year.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun.